So that was the default way to install a module. If we go through that process every time we need to install a module throughout these videos, it will be a bit time consuming. Another way to install a module is by using Drush. Now Drush isn't for everybody because it's a command line tool and some of us are scared of it. I was scared of it before I really decided to start using it. But once you have it available to you, it can be very easy to do certain things. And downloading and installing a module is one of those things that it makes super quick. Once you get used to the module installation process, it might take 1 or 2 minutes to install a module. But with Drush, it can take just a few seconds. When you times that by 30 or 50 modules, it can really be a time saver. And the commands that you use are actually pretty straightforward, and there's great documentation for all of the other commands that you might want to use in the future. But just loading the download and enable commands can be a huge lifesaver. If you do a quick search on Build a Module for installing Drush, you can find videos for both the Mac and PC, and there's also some videos leading up to it that will help you get comfortable on the command line using some basic commands and just hopefully getting the sense that it's not something to be scared about. So I've opened up a command line prompt here. In Mac, this is called Terminal. On a PC, you can use a variety of tools, including something called Putty. Drush also comes with a pretty easy to use tool for Windows as well. Now I usually keep the command line open throughout the process of site building because I use Drush so often to download, enable, and disable modules. It's particularly nice when I'm testing a number of modules and don't know exactly what they're supposed to do, but I need to go through the installation process in order to reveal their configuration. So the first thing I need to do is navigate to the location of my Drupal site. I'm going to do that with a simple cd command. And then on the Mac, I can simply drag over the folder that I want to navigate to and hit enter. Now if I type Drush, I know it's installed because it gives me some information about Drush and the commands available. I'm going to use Drush in order to install a module called Coffee, but I'll bring it up in the browser first so you can see where to find more information about it. I'm actually going to enter the name right here in the browser address bar and type in Coffee, and it gives you some information. Now the Coffee module allows you to strike a keyboard shortcut, which is Alt-D, and it will bring up this dialog. I'm going to click this image so you can view it bigger, and allow you to search the menu items in order to display anything that matches. Now this can be great if you don't know exactly where a menu item is. Even if you do know where it is, it can be a lot faster to simply type a couple of letters and click enter, which will trigger going to that first entry here. So again, if we wanted to install this module the traditional way, we would simply scroll down, download the version that's assigned to Drupal 7, and drag it over to the Sites All Modules folder. With Drush, we don't have to navigate anywhere. We just simply need to know what the project name is. In this case, it's called Coffee. And now if I type Drush, DL, which is short for download, and type Coffee, C-O-F-F-E-E, and hit enter, it will automatically go and find out what the recommended version is for the installation of Drupal that we have, which it says is 7.x-1.0, which is exactly what we would have downloaded otherwise. It unpacks it and puts it in the right place, all in one fell swoop. Now some modules come bundled with numerous modules, and we'll want to take a look at the descriptions of each one of those to get a sense of what's in the entire package. Coffee is simple, it just has one module, and we can enable it by simply going Drush, EN, and then the name of the module, C-O-F-F-E-E. Now we're getting some errors here, which is because when Acquia installs Drupal, it puts the settings file in a particular folder. So I'm going to go back to my file explorer here, and you see that inside of the sites folder we have all, which is where our modules folder is and where we've been putting our modules. But we also have a folder here, giftofgeek.localhost, which is where our settings.php file is. And Drush is looking for this settings.php file to know more about the installation. So we actually have to navigate to this location on the command line in order to enable a module. You see it downloaded just fine, but enabling takes this other step. So I'm going to go back to the command line and I'll type cd sites and then giftofgeek.localhost. I was able to hit tab in order to autocomplete the name of the folder, and I'm going to hit enter. And now if I type drush en coffee and hit enter, it will say the following extensions will be enabled, and we want to hit Y in order to continue and hit enter. And now it says that it was successfully enabled. If we go back to our site and look at the list of modules and refresh it, and we do a quick browser search for coffee here, you'll see that down here we have coffee installed and enabled. So now the next time we need to install a module, it will be as simple as jumping over to the command line, typing drush dl and then the name of the project, and drush en and then the name of the project. And that's it. Like I said, this really starts to make sense after you enable a few modules and you know how much time you can save. However, it's not for everybody, so I'm not assuming in this series that you're going to be using Drush, but whenever we get to the point where we need to enable a module, I'm going to put up a screen that describes what version of the module we're installing, how to install it in Drush, and what modules to enable on the module listing page. And you can decide how you want to download and enable that module.